How's it going, everybody? Rye here today, and we are back with our Oakland Athletics franchise mode here in MLB The Show 22, and we are in season number 8, ready to get through the second half of the season. And guys, I want to say thank you for the comments on the last episode. I agree that we should probably wait to look at trading our pitchers or trading for a pitcher. Give them another month. Wait until we get closer to the trade deadline. We're about 2 months now. We got June and all of July until we get to the trade deadline, which we will maybe be active at. We'll see how the team is doing, but so far, so good. And guys, in the last one, we had a very, very good draft, getting 4 definite major league prospects, and maybe one here in Miguel Chavez that, depending on how his development grows, maybe he can get into 80s with his potential. Even if he's in the low 70s, he's still going to be worthwhile to have on the team, considering he's only 19. Then we have Reyes and Rick Bell. That's just, they're not going to be anything really for us. So, but the rest of the draft went really well. Like our early picks, right? You can't really complain about your last 2 picks not being good. I mean, you're taking flyers and darts, and if you get lucky, you get lucky. If not, right? So you guys can see all-star voting wise, something I haven't paid much attention to, but we have Bush, Torkelson, and Rutschman. God, I love Bush. I really do. I love Michael Bush. He is just absolutely killing it for us. He's got another year after this one on $2.2 million. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's not eligible for the Rule 5 draft too, which is just great. He's batting OPS of 933, batting over 300. He is hot right now with 10 home runs, probably on pace for his usual 19, 20. That looks like what he's good for when he gets a good sizable amount of at-bats. 14, but he's grown since he had his last 400 at-bat season. But yeah, A potential, 91 overall at 30. Hitting machine and a sniper. Okay, all right. So we are 4 games back at the Angels, who are the best team in baseball right now. I mentioned that. I made a point of that in the last one, right? I can't be upset with how our team is performing, right? We've got a slightly worse ERA, but a slightly better average, right? I mean, 0.4 ERA difference and 0.013 better average, a little bit better slugging, a little bit better on base percentage, slightly, right? We're right there. It's just going to take us getting hot at the right time, as you guys can see. I mean, they've got 6 more division wins than us, and if we can go 6-0 on our next 6 division games, all of a sudden we're right there with them. We're actually ahead of them in the standings, but they've also played more games than us. I want to say we've played 56, they've played 58. So we have a couple games in hand there as well, right? So if you add 3 to our wins, which would, I guess, whatever. I'm not going to do the math. We got time to simulate. Obviously, we are a great team. If I can look to improve a certain area, maybe it's the starting rotation. As you guys can see, everybody is cold. It's not what you want to see. Connie Nelson is starting to definitely improve, right? He's had 10 games started. Only 3 quality starts, though. That's not great. Grayson Rodriguez was the better of the 2 with 11 starts, 8 of those being quality start. And we moved Jordan Wicks into the rotation because Gunnar Hoglund was out. Gunnar Hoglund's now at 87, guys. Gunnar Hoglund may just straight up be our ace now because Skubal and Gallen are not doing well. Gunnar Hoglund's pitched 14 innings. He looks tremendous. Let's see. Hoglund, he started 2 games. He had 0 quality starts. We'll see. I don't want to really make him the ace just by default because that 2.07 whip. But again, he's only pitched 14 innings. 13 strikeouts in 14 innings is great. That's what I want to see. These guys not as good in the strikeout department. Connie Nelson is great in the strikeout department, it looks like, and he's really grown, which is what we want to see, right? We know he's got that 99 potential, but we don't want to rush him. Oh my goodness, we have a absolutely ridiculous just starting rotate. It's insane. But you guys can see here, maybe another setup man like Pelouse, not great. Neither is Lemoyne. They're both pitch 15 innings total. I mean, Pelouse's ERA is awful, but he doesn't get to pitch a ton. You guys can see Rodriguez, Weathers, and Whitley all pitching around 30. These guys pitching combined 15. Delgadio and Wicks pitching the majority of the innings, right? Delgadio at 5-0. How many games? He has started 0 games. So when he's come in, he's really weathered the storm for us and done exactly what I want to see out of a long reliever. Jordan Wicks, same thing here. He's just not quite as good as some of these other guys. I'm going to make Gunnar Hoglund the ace in the rotation just because he's that good. Did Skubal just pitch this game? Yeah, he did. I'm not going to actually make him the ace in the rotation because that would be very bad for Tariq Skubal to pitch back-to-back days. So it'll be Skubal, Hoglund, Gallen. I think Gallen is cold, so we'll put Hoglund in the middle there. Hoglund is back. I don't know the last time he pitched, and I'm not going to go hunting for it, but we have this quick, we actually have one more game against Toronto in this series after the draft was on the 1st. I'm used to it being on the 5th. Maybe it's on the first Thursday of June. I'm not exactly sure how MLB The Show does that, but as you guys can see, first in contact, first in power, third in pitching, first in defense, fourth in speed. Top 5 pretty much everywhere as a team, and top 5 in the infield, top 4 in the infield even. And the outfield's a top 10 outfield, right? Best catcher, best first base. Are you serious? Spencer Torkelson has grown to become the best first baseman in baseball, and he's an absolute machine. Oh my goodness, that hitting is off the charts. Luis Pons, how's he doing? Yeah, he's getting a little bit of time, but anyway, I like where the team is sitting right now. I don't think I have to make any crazy changes. Getting Gunnar Hoglund back is going to be nice because he was out for, I think, 1 to 2 months. But now that he's back, our rotation looks absolutely filthy. So maybe I won't have to. Maybe that was just the move we needed to make, was getting healthy. All right, Gunnar Hoglund now in his return is going to get a 5-1 win. Beautiful. He continues to basically put up a strikeout per inning, helps his ERA there. I actually want to just look at and see how he did in the box score in his first game back. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, but 7 strikeouts there as well. And Lemoyne comes in with the save. We did have a 4-run advantage. Actually, we were up. Wow. Okay. So we were up 1-0. Hoglund, it was, I think, tied. And then he must have left in the bottom of the 8th. So we did get the win there for those 2 runs. But it's good to see Lemoyne come in and get the save and spare our closing pitcher, Karinchak there. I knew it began with a K. Anyway, we got a series against Seattle. This is big. Could be those 6 games that I was talking about in the division. We're going to win. Gallen gets the win. Doesn't really have to do much considering the offense put up 12 runs, but he only allowed 1. Another 9-1 win where Connie Nelson, look at the pitching staff. The pitching staff starting to step into gear. And 11-1. So Seattle only scores 3 runs against us in this entire series. And now we get Texas. Skubal, does not pick up the win. It is Wicks that picks up the win. Hoglund is going to get another win there and trim his ERA. Hoglund is starting to become one of those guys that I didn't realize just how good he might have been. But, with that beat potential, and he's doing much better than I originally projected him to do. But 5 runs scored in the top of the 9th. That'll definitely help you win a game. Giving up 3, though, not great. Lemoyne gets the hold, and Karinchak comes in with the save. He just wanted to set up the save opportunity, pad the stats a bit. And then Zach Gallen against Cole win. We get another win there, and there is the 6-0 in our next 6 division games. That's absolutely massive. And we are now, look at that, guys, I'm telling you, we're now tied with the Angels, who have cooled off quite a bit. They're 4-6 in their last 10. We are 9-1, and bam, just like that, we've evened the division records at 15-8 apiece. We are much better on the road than we are at home, believe that or not. So maybe home field advantage in the playoffs is, I always kind of want home field advantage, but looking at the stats, maybe we don't. All right, we got Connie Nelson versus Baltimore. He's going to pick up the win there. Grayson Rodriguez versus his former team. Jordan Wicks is just coming in and just out of the bullpen is mowing people down. And then Skubal is going to pick up another win, and we are now on a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10-game winning streak. Holy smokes, we have gotten hot at the right time, and I think it's kind of a combination. Both bats and arms have gotten hot at the right time. But now we got this series against Kansas City, make it 11. Gallen takes the L, and our winning streak is cut at 11. That's okay, though. We can bounce back with Connie Nelson here. We can. The AAA Aviators do not have a valid lineup. They lost Delvin Granberg, who tore his MCL. That's unfortunate for him. So we might need to move somebody up from double A. Yeah, Delvin. Yeah, there he is. He's in AAA there. In double A is Quinn Brody, who's hot. So we'll move him to, I guess, AAA because they had Willie Carter, who's also on IL, and Granberg. And then we'll move Darren Hale here to double A. He is a B potential at 64 and 18, and he's growing very nicely in single A. I think he's probably okay for... No, I'm not going to rush him. He's going to stay in Class A. We still have Jonathan Rodriguez there in Double A for us, so we're fine. And we are now 3 games ahead of the Angels, who must have played their games in hand. I mean, we only took 1 day off, right? So all these wins have really just vaulted us up. And then here's Houston, who at the start was a great team. They're not so much anymore. We're just going to their AAA lineups. And Grayson Rodriguez picks up another win. I love seeing our starters getting decisions. You know, that's just a good thing. I like seeing our starters, you know, the bats coming alive early and them getting the wins that they deserve. Scooble, Wicks takes the L this time. Unfortunate for sure. Hoagland gets another dub. This is actually Lee Rodriguez from the middle relief spot. And then Zach Gallen, Lee Rodriguez picks up back-to-back wins and he pulls his record back to 3-4. His 2.08 ERA, though, out of the pen is something I'd like to see more so than him having a positive winning record, right? And now a big one. It is the Los Angeles Angels against the Oakland Athletics for the top of the division. They are 5 games behind us, so even if we get swept here, it's not exactly the end of the world. Now, of course, I don't want to get swept. Starting off with a 7-0 loss where Connie Nelson picks up the fat L. Grayson Rodriguez, though, with an 8-3 record and a 3.80 ERA and more strikeouts than innings pitched, which is just so nice to see. And then Tariq Skubal is going to get us a 1-0 win. Not a guy that's getting a lot of decisions this season, and a pretty poor season for Tariq Skubal, all things considered. But he picks up the win there, and maybe he's starting to turn it around. 0 runs allowed against the Angels. That's big, right? Just straight up big. 7 1/3, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs, 10 base runners, though, is not great. The whip is not good, not what you want to see. But I still trust him. He's the best lefty arm we've got, and I think he's the best lefty arm we could potentially have. Gunnar Hoagland here is going to actually not pick up the loss. Colin Pelouse picks up the loss, and that's our setup man right there. That's unfortunate. Hoagland did allow 3 earned runs in the 5.1 innings pitched, so he was losing when he got pulled. Then we tied it in the 8th, took the lead in the 9th, and then they brought in Pelouse. Well, I guess Karinchak kind of blew it. Karinchak allowed 2 runs. Pelouse allowed the losing run, but Karinchak blown save there. But we bounce back with a big win there. Gallen, Connie Nelson now also getting the loss. So a little bit of a cooling off there towards the end of June. But now we face Toronto again, where Rodriguez, Skubal, Hoagland, loss, win, loss. So Rodriguez, Skubal, and Rodriguez all get the decisions there. Rodriguez picking up the L's, not great. That must have been a late win for them. No, actually it wasn't. They put up 3 runs when we turned to our bullpen, which is unfortunate for sure. Hoagland only 2 earned, right? That's pretty good. But Rodriguez giving up another 2 earned runs, which is not what you want to see. So this series against the Angels, I mean, I guess we can only stay so hot, right? We were one of the hottest teams in baseball in the month of June. We are going to beat the Angels, though. That's big. Stay in control of the division. And we are going to win 14-13. What a series what a game that was. Oh my God. Holy smokes, imagine that. We send it into extra innings with 5 runs in the 7th. No runs scored until the 11th, where Los Angeles surely thinks they've got the win with a 4-run top of the 11th, but we bounce right back with a 4-run bottom of the 11th, snapping the wind out of their sails, and we score 1 in the bottom of the 12th to walk it off. Whitley comes in and gets us a big win there. Hopefully we have a day off. Somebody ran for Stanton in the 9th. They brought in Carroll for Stanton, and he DH'd and he went 0 for 1. That's fine. We do not have a day off. We have to play the Angels twice more here. Grayson Rodriguez is going to pick up a big win. Him and Wicks combine for the 1 run allowed. That's what you want to see, right? Karinchak comes in for the save, but after having to use our bullpen so much in the last one, a low-scoring game actually favors us in the fact that we only used 2.5 pitchers. I wouldn't consider the closer being used there. But there we go. Skubal versus Detmers. Skubal picks up the L, and he's been pretty woeful. Anyway, we have a cross trip. Well, I shouldn't say a crosstown trip to the Dodgers, facing the other team from LA in a quick 2-game series as Hoagland and Gallen go. Hoagland gets a 6-0 victory. And yes, there is one important message. So Gallen picks up the L there. Transactions pending. They've placed Yusniel Luis on waivers. Yusniel Luis, really? He's got arbitration for the next 3 seasons. He's a good hitter against righties. Really only plays first base. Not a great fielder. A pretty solid hitter. But I don't think I want to go after him on waivers. I think I'm happy with who we have. Nathan Webb had a tough month. Graham Sparker, I think that's fine. Cabrera, Daniel Reyna. None of these guys really look like Cade Cavalli. Actually, Cade Cavalli is doing pretty good. All things considered. It's 81 with A potential still. Maybe a late bloomer. Kind of glad I'm holding on to him, letting him pitch in AAA. Same thing with Enlo. Guys, our team is, well, it's very top heavy. I say that. We have a ton of 80s. Skubal, Hoagland, Rodriguez, Gallen, Nelson, Wicks, Delgaudio, Cavalli, Enlo. We have one mid 70s, and then it just kind of completely falls off a cliff there. Definitely need to think about dispersing the talent a bit as well. But maybe we could call up a guy like Cavalli or Enloe and maybe put them in the bullpen instead of the guys we currently have. AAA, though, how is 1.16 whip is pretty good. 2.64 is very good as well. And now you guys can see we've moved up to second best pitching staff in all of baseball. Everything else stays the same. Injured list. Beck fractured his leg, so that is in, what is that at? That's in AAA, AA. I think that's AA. Okay, so our AA catcher got injured there, but that's okay. We have other guys in AA, Jack Conley, but Alan Kane growing very, very nicely. And then Tyler Soderstrom actually is hot, and he's look at the bat. The bat is great for a catcher. I wish his fielding was a bit better, but I guess we've kind of made do with Rutschman, who is going to be a free agent and make way too much money for us to afford. We'll move on from him into Soderstrom next season. Kane might stay in AAA depending on how his development goes for the rest of the season. But we finally get a day off, and Connie Nelson now faces Tampa Bay, Grayson Rodriguez, Skubal, and Hoagland, and then we get another day off, which is kind of nice. So this 4-game series against Tampa starts with an L. Lemoyne. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at the potential relievers, I think, to go ahead and acquire. Grayson Rodriguez picks up the win there, and the Red Sox are offering us a trade. They are offering us for Giancarlo Franco, the potential third baseman who's 23 at 58. It's going to take him forever to get to the majors, isn't it? For relief pitcher Josh Taylor, who's $2 million and not really worth it. I would like to upgrade at relief pitcher and not give up an potential prospect to do so. So we'll see. I mean, I could give up Franco. I'm not going to say I'm not going to give him up, but just the idea of getting a 68 relief pitcher, it's not really an upgrade and it's not worth it for us. But Grayson Rodriguez picks up his 9th win of the season there. Tariq Skubal gets his 5th win of the season in a bounce back performance. He's been hot and cold all season. And a chance to win the series here with Gunnar Hoagland on the mound, and we do it. He's got a 3.66 ERA and a 4-0 record, a day off before Gallen now, who's the third. The fact that Zach Gallen is the third man in our rotation is kind of ridiculous. Frankie Montas strained his flexor, but now he's back. But just taking a look at our pitching rotation, guys, like having Gallen, I think, at the 3 spot is really, really good. Oh my God, we just have so much pitching depth. And they're all kind of they're all entering their prime, right? The late 20s, maybe turning 30. Right, Skubal here, upsetting to see him dropping off, but he is hot. So we'll see if he can bounce back and ride that hot streak into improving his record there. But the fact that Hoagland and Gallen are doing so well, I'd like to see Connie Nelson be a little bit better with that ERA. I wonder what his FIP is, though. Is it deserved? Not really. He's got a 4.61 whip and a 5.52 ERA. That's not really deserved, that 5.52. It should be closer to 4.61, but he's just getting unlucky with the fielding. The whip is looking okay. His is the worst, so Connie Nelson's probably our worst pitcher. The fact that he's doing this well in his first real season to be a pure starter, he's only got 5 quality starts in that 17 there. But Gunnar Hoagland, 10 games started, 6 quality starts. I'll take 60% or better when it comes to quality start percentage. All right, but Zach Gallen now on the mound is going to get us the win. Delgado, actually, who's 7-0. He's 7-0 out of the pen. Connie Nelson picks up a good win, too. A 3-1 win, I should say. Only 1 run given up in the 4th. Pitched 6 innings, 1 earned run. He did allow 6 base runners, but 4 strikeouts there, improving the ERA from 5.51 to 5.26. It is going to take a while to get that ERA sub 5, but I think he's pitching better than that suggests. He's still not pitching great, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's still 10-5. He's getting more strikeouts than innings pitched. He's winning games, and that's all I can ask for. Grayson Rodriguez starts the series against Seattle. We get a win out of the bullpen with Lee Rodriguez. Tariq Skubal continues to stay hot here. That's beautiful. Gunnar Hoagland. Ooh, we have a trade to announce. We've got Robert Henderson, the closing pitcher, going to San Diego in exchange for center fielder Lloyd Santos and relief pitcher Christopher Tyler, who's pretty woeful, to be honest. 24-49. Don't know what this is. Maybe they weren't going to be able to afford him, but surely San Diego, you've got to do better than that after winning the World Series. But an 8-4 win against Seattle, and Delgado picks up another one out of the pen. And Zach Gallen, right before the All-Star break, there's another trade. The Baltimore Orioles move Pete Alonso. How many times has Pete Alonso been moved in this franchise mode? Holy smokes. But he's going to get moved for Eric Valido, Xavier Chambliss, and Christopher Rodriguez. Interesting. So a lot of middle-aged prospects. That does not look like a good trade for the Diamondbacks, or excuse me, for the Orioles, unless they are running into budget concerns. And we are going to lose that final game. Jacob Lemoyne, yeah, I gotta look to the trade block, guys. I gotta look to improve our setup men. I know they don't matter much, but it definitely is mattering right now. Any relief pitchers? The best play. Wow, there's some Riley Green. The outfielder Riley Green on the last year of his $7.3 million deal. I'd love to go after him, but probably doesn't make too much sense. Are there any relief pitchers on the block that would be an upgrade? There's Jacob Webb with 1 season left. How is he pitching? He's got a 4.96 ERA, 1.5 whip. He's got a positive WAR. His FIP is sub 4, right? So that ERA being full 1 earned run higher is just a product of the defense he's getting. How many Ks per 9 does he got? 8.3. That's not great. 1 home run per 9. That's okay. That's Ryan Helsley, excuse me. Hasn't pitched too many innings, but a 4.08 ERA. His FIP is 3.79. He's definitely, I mean, he's not pitching as much, right? He's definitely being used in the setup man role because he's only pitched 17 innings. I think a guy like Jacob Webb could be a guy we look to go after. What would they want for him is the question. They want Stanton or they want Mora and Montas. Pablo Mora and Frankie Montas for Jacob Webb, and then we send Lemoyne down, and the AAA should be okay with pitching. I kind of like that. I like Pablo Mora, but we've got other pieces. I think this is a win. Our budget goes down ever so slightly. Budget before, it goes down by like $900,000 here. I'm fine with a decrease. We would go up if we traded Stanton, but I don't want to trade Stanton. He's down to a 73, but we'll see how his batting is. But Jacob Webb for Pablo Mora and Frankie Montas, I will do that deal for sure. I'm very happy with that one. We upgrade our relief pitching for sure. Now, he's not worth his $4.8 million in my opinion, but he's the second best reliever on the roster, and that allows me to send Lemoyne down to AAA and use one of his options, and beautiful. We are all set there. Starting pitching, AAA, we only have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so maybe I'll just go looking for a free agent starting pitcher that would want to come in for cheap money. Okay. Does anybody want to come in for cheap money? No, 5 years? No? Okay, yeah. I'd like not to give you 5 years. Anybody want to come in for just like a 1-year minor league deal? Anybody? Anybody at all? Now I'm just looking for AA pitchers, right? Jameson Talon, I'm not giving him $2 million, right? That severely handcuffs us. You can really, I just want to find somebody who wants like in the thousands, like a K. Yeah, there we go. Kyle Kubat. There we go. And he is going to sign that contract. Maybe one more guy. There we go. Ian McKinney as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Kenneth Seaver here. We'll go ahead and pick him up. Why not? He's 22. We'll see what happens. But there we go. We do now have enough starting pitchers all over. Kubat, no, we're going to send you to AA. Yes, that's fine. And then David Hedger. Actually, we'll call up Alex Tunick to AAA. That's fine by me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably need to call up one more. And David Hedger is probably good enough to call up to AAA at this point. Actually, I think Dwayne Loftus, I'll move him to AAA. There we go. He's 24, so we're okay now as far as how many players are on the roster. Actually, a relief pitcher from the AAA should be sent down. We'll send down Graham Sparker to AA, and I think that pretty much solves all of our issues there. So I'm pretty pleased with that move to pick up relief pitcher Jacob Webb, who I think has pitched well enough in back-to-back seasons. He's got this is his worst FIP, right? But I think the strikeouts per 9 is solid. He's got a decent WAR. He's only going to be used really in the rotation here as a setup man. Webb as a setup man, so hopefully we can go to him instead of a guy like Pelouse. Pelouse is by far the worst of the two, so I don't want him there. We can still see who's out there. I would like to, obviously a guy like CJ Abrams would be insane to get. He's such a good fielder, but what we'd have to give up is Gallen, Denton, and Hale, which isn't the worst trade in the world by any stretch, right? We make some money here, but I don't want to really give up Zach Gallen, right? I know he's 20 starts, 14 quality starts in 20 games started is really quite good. 1.6 WAR. I think his FIP before 1.2 is not great, but he is getting a little bit lucky. The defense behind him is playing very, very well, but I'm satisfied with the pitchers we have. If anything, if there was a starting pitcher on the block here that I would like to go after, they don't exist. They're not on there right now, but we are still 9 games ahead of the Angels, right? And I upgraded the bullpen. That was a simple trade, not a splashy trade. I'm happy now that Hoagland is in the rotation as well. So at 63 wins, we are, oh my goodness, we are 5 wins ahead of the next best team in baseball. Oh my God, that is crazy. We have a couple All-Stars. View today's games. We'll just play the game. We will player lock and just see the AL All-Stars. Bo Bichette and Bobby Witt both made the All-Star game. Let's see, Spencer Torkelson, Adley Rutschman both made it as well. Can we lock ourselves as a reliever? Let's actually see if we can view today's games. Play the game, quick manage, the All-Stars. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. And then here's this rotation. Mean, Stanley, Light. Yeah, so we don't really have any pitchers. Karinchak made it. Karinchak made it for us. That's really good to see, but nobody else for us here. And then, but obviously you can see Bichette and Witt and Torkelson and Rutschman. So to have 5 All-Stars, one of them being our closer, kind of shows you where our team is sitting right now, right? There's not a ton of help pitching wise. Although I'm sure if we took a look at the statistics and went to team rankings, we're first in batting average, but I want to look at ERA, right? ERA, where is it? ERA, there it is. Our ERA is 9th, so our pitching staff, it's top 10, right? It's not nearly as good as the hitters we have, though. But the NL has defeated the AL, that's fine, and I don't care about the AAA or AA All-Star game. But now we have Connie Nelson. I guess we probably should be using Tariq Skubal here in this position, but I guess we'll just continue with the rotation the way it is. Auto fix the Rockhounds rotation. Delgado picks up his first loss of the season. That's a bummer. Ketel Marte on the move, the 88 overall 34-year-old, goes to the Braves from Chicago in exchange for Josh Rojas, Drew Romo, and Doug Robinson. That is probably the most balanced trade I think I've ever seen. Right? He's got another year left on his deal, and they're going to disperse it, basically. They're going to take one 88 outfielder and turn it into 2 80-plus overall infielders, and then a right fielder who can, substitute, maybe platoon, right? Looking good there. But back-to-back losses is not looking good for us. But Skubal picks it back up. He is our ace, and I want him to play like our ace. So we lose the series to Texas, but we're still far and away the best team in baseball. Hoagland now picks up the win, 5-0 on the season for Hoagland. Gallen steps it up there with the 7-4 win. And then Connie Nelson picks up, there we go, 4 straight wins after 2 losses after the break. Grayson Rodriguez loses actually it was Jordan Wicks that loses that one. And then Tariq Skubal loses that one against Texas. And we are now at the deadline, I'm pretty sure. The deadline is here on the 30th. Okay. It's just the way the calendar works. Against Texas there, we lose another. Wow, Texas has got our number so far in this series here. Zach Gallen, today is the trade deadline. He's going to take a loss. Man, that's tough, right? We've now got the number 1 contact, number 1 power, number 1 pitching, number 2 defense, and number 5 speed. This is just ridiculous, guys. Anyway, I do want to take a look at the trade block. Has anything changed? I mean, I'd love to go after, somebody else to bolster, but really, if anything, we need to bolster the starting rotation, and I don't even know how many players are really going to come in and bump one of these guys out of their spot, right? Like, Skubal's hot, Gallen's hot, which is nice to see, but Hoagland, Nelson, Rodriguez, Delgado, Wicks, Ryan Weather, we have just a good rotation, right? I don't know if he's pitched for us yet. Jacob Webb has or not, but we may or may not notice him. Who knows? But as long as it's not Lemoyne losing games for us, I'll be satisfied. But I don't think we're going to make any more moves. I think that was the one move I wanted to make. If anything, like I said, it would be another relief pitcher who's in the mid 70s even. Sean Reed Foley here could be another guy to go after. How is he pitching? He's got a 5.40 ERA, but his FIP is 3.12, 12 strikeouts per 9. They've got this guy on the block. What do you want for him? What do you want? They want Stanton. And I think that's probably because Stanton is the only one that works money wise. He's batting 767. He's got 21 home runs. He doesn't really fit in with the no strikeout thing, as he's striking out 25% of the time. I mean, Daniel Reyna could come up too. We also have Luis Pons, who could be our DH, right? He's batting 866 and is limited at bats. He's great against righties. His lefties, it could improve. To upgrade big time at the question is it worth it, right? Stanton is dropping off. This is the last year of Stanton, but I brought him in specifically for his bat. I don't really care how he's, fielding wise. He's awful. Like, never want to see this guy out in the outfield, but hopefully he's got 0%. Yeah, he's not been out there, right? He's not had an opportunity to. He's stolen some bases, which I don't think I'd say much. It's probably on a passed ball or something like that. But he's only slugging 432. This is the worst season of Stanton's career. He's dropping off significantly against lefties. The power against righties is there, but I think with Pons, I think I'd be willing to go after Sean Reed-Foley and giving up Stanton. This gives us a bit more budget. Sean Reed-Foley, I think his Ks per 9 is insane. His FIP is 3.12. He's incredibly unlucky with that ERA. I think I'm going to do it, guys. The $5 million for Stanton is just not worth the money at this point in his career. He's cold. He's not as clutch anymore. We still have Ponce. I'm going to do this trade, and they will accept it. I know. Getting rid of Stanton, that's kind of a shocker, but I think it's the move that just like I wanted to find my next Castellanos, but I did not end up finding that. And I definitely think sending Palouse down to AAA, that's fine. We now have enough players in the ML. We need to actually call somebody up for the MLB, and I think I'd like to call up another outfielder, right? We got Jesus Sanchez. I have not mentioned his name in ages. He's batting 8. I haven't mentioned it. That's crazy to me. Corbin Carroll, and then Daniel Reyna could come up. Nelson Kim could come up. He's just an awful fielder. Daniel Reyna is a good fielder. We could call up Mac Denton. Mac Denton's probably ready to platoon here. I know he's cold, but at 79 overall, he's the next best outfielder. We only have one outfielder on the bench. That's Corbin Carroll, who's the fielder. Mac Denton I could call up a better bat, maybe. Probably, actually, I might call up Nelson Kim. Nelson Kim's got that bat against lefties. I would rather have a bench bat outfielder there. Nelson Kim, come on up. Obviously, none of the right fielders are worthwhile. It was really between Mac Denton and Nelson Kim. Corbin Carroll's really the speed fielding guy. Mac Denton will be that guy next year, right? He's still, growing in the minor leagues. He looks great against righties with the power, but I think Nelson Kim's got that bat against lefties, and to have a good lefty bat off the bench and keep Daniel Reyna in the minors, keep him growing. I'm happy with the moves we made, and we will bring in against right-handed DH 8174. 8174 Ponce. I think that makes the most sense. We'll flip-flop him with Bobby Witt because Bobby Witt's now our best hitter there. But Pons can stay right there at 5. There's really almost no drop off. And then same thing here against lefties. Is it Nelson Kim time? Because 59-64, 81-79. The vision is a little bit worse, but I think I'll DH Nelson Kim against lefties. We'll kind of platoon that DH and, having Rutschman right after. He's got that. Yeah, I'm going to keep Nelson Kim in. We had him for a few seasons. He was one of those guys, like I said, that makes an immediate impact. Maybe not a long-term impact, but now he's back. He's back, and let's see how it goes. And we instantly win against Boston, and, let's see. How do we do? Ponce went 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Did he hit a homer in that game? Ponce did hit a homer. Oh, my God, I love it. I love it. The first game, I'm just absolutely, I'm so lucky that actually paid off in the first game. Auto fixed the AAA lineups there. Grayson Rodriguez picks up a tight 3-2 win over Matt Tabor. And then Cairo versus Skubal. Skubal picks up the win, even though 20 runs scored in that game. So definitely bet the over. You made some money. But there we go. 3 straight wins after that Stanton trade and improving the bullpen. A couple of bullpen trades have really been, I think, impactful. Gunnar Hoglund gets his first loss of the season, but Zach Gallen bounces back with a win 3-2 over Asa Lacey. Then Connie Nelson. Oh, Ryan Weathers actually picks up the win. So there's the bullpen. And we got another series against Boston. We got Rodriguez with the L. Skubal with the win. It was actually Corinne. That sucks. He blew the save. Skubal gets a dub, though. And then Gunnar Hoglund picks up his second loss. Can't really blame him, as John Means there with his 12-4, 2.23 ERA. Oh, my God. That That is one heck of a season for him on a sub 500 team to be 12-4. Like, not his fault. That's for sure. Anyway, we got a Seattle series here as Gallen picks up a 10-2 win. We lose 5-4 with Connie Nelson picking up the L, and then Grayson Rodriguez takes the L, and we have kind of cooled off, and the Angels are only 4 games behind us with a 3-game series. Oh, man, we have to win this series against Houston. Skubal starts us. Karinchak with another loss. Hoagland, though, back on the winning train. There we go. And Gallen, there we go. Delgaudio picks up the win, and that's huge, right? Because now LA is 5.5 games back. Had we lost that series, this one means a ton. It still does. Don't get me wrong. It means a ton, but could have been way more impactful. Connie Nelson is going to get the L there. Grayson Rodriguez, though, picks up the win. Actually, it's Wicks. And then Skubal gets a big win, 7-1. Criswell getting bombed, 0-5 this season in 70 innings pitched. Quick 2-game series at home against Philadelphia. Hoagland picks up the win, and Gallen picks up the L. 4-game series here against the White Sox, who are a pretty darn good baseball team, who I believe were one of the teams that were at the top that we were chasing. Connie Nelson takes an L. Grayson Rodriguez picks up the dub. Skubal picks up a huge dub. I mean, I know it's not him scoring those 14 runs, but to allow 2, those are games we're going to win. And then Gunnar Hoagland here gets a win, so a 3-1 win in the series, and we are at 80 games, 82 wins. And it's not the end of August yet. It is not the end of August, and we have Cleveland here, or 10 games under 500. Zach Gallen with the win. Connie Nelson, actually Ryan Weathers picks up that win. And then Grayson Rodriguez, who picks up that win. It is Grayson Rodriguez. Awesome. And another series against Chicago here as we start September. Quinn Brody never got it going in July. Tough month for Webb. Lemoyne struggled in July. Oof, not what you want to see. Howie Murray tore it up. That's what you want to see. And Reyna had an outstanding month. And Cade Cavalli had a good month. All right. So I think, if anything, we're going to call up Cade Cavalli for this, you know, I always like to call up one pitcher and one fielder. Question is, what's the next best fielder, right? Taking a look at AAA, it's David Bodie. Yeah, I signed David Bodie to a $4 million 3-year deal, right? I'm calling him up. I think he would make a big impact for us. Reyna, I'd like to keep Reyna and Denton in the minors. Bodie is 34. He deserves another shot. Graham McLeod growing incredibly nicely in the minors at 82 overall from Cali. The lefty reliever looks real good. But for now, I think we will go ahead and edit the pitching rotation. Cavalli, not a long reliever, but I guess switch him with Sean Reed-Foley. Sean Reed-Foley then will be actually Cody Whitley, I think. Sean Reed-Foley, yeah, we'll do that. Sean Reed-Foley will be a middle reliever. Jacob Webb will be a setup man. There we go. Jacob Webb was brought in Whitley to be setup men. They're just upgrades. Like I said, I like to make my worst players the setup men. And then Cavalli, Rodriguez, Weathers, Foley, Delgaudio, Wicks. Yeah, Cavalli as a middle reliever, totally satisfied with that. The starting rotation looks fine. I'm not going to make any adjustments there. And then taking a look at the lineups, Bodie's just going to be here. He can kind of do it all. If anybody gets hurt or anything like that, he's losing a bit of his bat, which sucks, but his bat's pretty solid average. Oh my God. It's all red and I love it. Verdugo, Torkelson. Verdugo was an all-star? Maybe he was on the bench in the all-star game and I just wasn't able to see him. But Torkelson, Witt, we know Bo Bichette. Things are going well right now. Taking a look at the injured list. Tunic, that's unfortunate. The fact that we had another injury to a starting pitcher in the minors, but we are 6 games ahead of the Angels, which is the important thing there. Skubal will auto-fix the AAA rotation there. Karinchak picks up his 4th loss. Man, he is blowing a lot of saves. So the Rockhounds need me to adjust something. AAA, or AA, excuse me. Kalish here, we will send you down to Class A. You're just not very good. I kind of probably just signed him because I needed to sign somebody. All right, so here we go. Against the White Sox, though, a 10-8 Delgaudio win, and then Zach Gallen. Karinchak's another loss for Karinchak. Holy smokes, my guy is just ice cold. Like, over 5. I mean, how many of these have come in the last month, couple weeks even? So it's not what I want to see out of my closer as we get into September here. But Connie Nelson picking up a win. Grayson Rodriguez takes the L, and Skubal, a nice 1-0 win. And did Karinchak get the save in this one? I hope so. Karinchak did get the save, so that's his 40th save of the season. Whitley with the hold there as well in the 8th inning. Beautiful, beautiful just day for our pitching staff. Gunnar Hoagland is going to lose to, I think, his former team. I believe he came from Washington. Zach Gallen picks up the win, though. Actually, it's Jordan Wicks. And then Connie Nelson is going to lose that game. And so far, we've kind of cooled off a bit. I mean, I know we're 11 games away from winning 100, and I would like to do that. We still have 3.5 weeks just about of baseball to play. So here we go against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Grayson Rodriguez picks up the win, and we are going to sweep the quick 2-game series with both of our starters getting wins. Gunnar Hoglund here against Houston, 8-0 win. Beautiful shutout win. Zach Gallen with another shutout win. Connie Nelson with a 4-2 win, and then Grayson Rodriguez with a Delgado, actually, with a 10-5 win, but Grayson Rodriguez, probably a good game from him there as well. So we now have won 6 straight, and we are 5 games away from 100 wins, which I don't think I've ever done with the Oakland Athletics. All right, Tariq Skubal versus the Los Angeles Angels. Detmers, we're going to get a 3-0 win there. I'm pretty sure I gave them Reed Detmers. I can't remember for sure. Anyway, Gunnar Hoglund versus Sandoval is going to pick up the win. He's 10-3 this season. And then now Zach Gallen versus Acosta. Zach Gallen picks up a win in a 22-run scored game. We are 2 wins away. Come on, guys. If we don't reach 100 wins, I'm going to cry. We've got Connie Nelson against Eduardo Rodriguez, picks up the L. Grayson Rodriguez versus Frank Olivia picks up the L. Tariq Skubal, 7-0 win. All right, we now are 1 game away with 6 games. We cannot go 0-6 against our division to end the season here. I mean, I know we're 10 games up on the Angels, and we pretty much got it in the bag, but I want to hit 100. And there it is. We hit 100 wins. Gunnar Hoglund, beautiful way to get us our 100th win, a 4-1 solid victory. Zach Gallen picks up another win, but the Aviators finished 61-89, and the Rockhounds finished 32-37. That's okay. The minor league playoffs are about to begin, but it doesn't really matter. 8-2 win there is beautiful. Connie Nelson, cold heading into the post. He's gotten a lot of 25 decisions. Is a lot of decisions in a season. Grayson Rodriguez gets the win there. Tariq Skubal gets the win there, right? Oh, it's Cade Cavalli coming in for 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, no earned runs. Oh, wow. So we mounted that comeback. So Skubal would have picked up the... Actually, no, we didn't mount a comeback. It was basically end-to-end. We were winning, and then it was tied, so he lost the decision. Cavalli came in. Actually, when did Cavalli come in? I don't know when he did, but he picks up the win. And we have 1 more game left in the season against the Angels. Are the Angels playing for anything? They are at 90 wins. The wild card? Nah, they've already won the wild card. We've already clinched the best record in our league. And we're going to and we lose 11-0. Gunnar Hoglund closes the season out with a stinker. But that's okay. Taking a look at the standings here. We finished with 103 wins. The next best team in all of baseball was the Giants with 92. We finished with 11 more wins than the next best team. And I'm glad I listened to you guys and letting players work through rough months, except for those guys that didn't deserve to be in the bullpen. Ray Delgado led the league in winning percentage out of the bullpen as our long reliever. And Bo Bichette led the league in runs. So that's why I'm glad he was our leadoff guy, right? As you see here, I didn't talk about Jesus Sanchez. I said this twice in this video, but I didn't talk about him at all. Jesus Sanchez sprained his knee. Willie Carter, Rodriguez, McLeod. Good Lord, there was a lot of injuries there, but everybody's back and good to see it too. Awards. Who won the AL MVP? We have an MVP for the first time. Spencer Torkelson wins the AL MVP. 304, 42 home runs, and 123 he batted. The difference is, oh man, Joey Gallo's got in with a shout, right? But I think Spencer Torkelson was just that little bit better. Holy smokes. The Cy Young goes to Jose Barrios. Grayson Rodriguez in with a shout with his 216 strikeouts. Good Lord, this guy strikes players out. Batting title goes to Bregman. Nobody here for us. 337, 35, and 105. That's what a season from Bregman. Oh my God, he's almost 99 overall too. Reliever of the year, not from us, but hey, we worked on it. Rookie of the year, Ray Delgado comes in second. That's not bad at all. Gold glove for pitcher. No, we had Adley Rutschman almost as a gold glove for a catcher. See, 81 fielding, 84 arm. Yeah, that's kind of fine. I mean, he's solid 1,000% fielding percentage, no errors. A lot of putouts as well, and a lot of assists there. Spencer Torkelson almost won the gold glove. Obviously, he was the MVP for his bat. Looking through here, we go to the Silver Slugger now. Adley Rutschman is the Silver Slugger at catcher. As you guys can see, 255, OPS of 764. He did hit 27 home runs and almost 80 RBIs, so that's pretty darn good. Spencer Torkelson, Silver Slugger for first base, hence why he was the MVP of the league. Michael Busch was the Silver Slugger for second, snapping Ozzie Albies. run. He's still getting better. It's gross. Third baseman Bobby Witt in with a shout, I guess. Not quite. Austin Riley had the better average and 7 more home runs. But wow. So Silver Slugger at catcher, Silver Slugger at first, Silver Slugger at second, and Silver Slugger at shortstop. We only missed out on the Silver Slugger at third by just a bit. Holy smokes. Alex Verdugo was almost one of the Silver Sluggers in the outfield. Eloy Jimenez, and then Julio Rodriguez, who has developed like a madman. Hopefully he does that in real life. And there's the postseason stuff. But now let's take a look at our statistics. You guys can see we have a bye and might face the Minnesota Twins or the Los Angeles Angels in the first round. So let's go ahead and take a look at our player statistics. Who had the best batting average on the team? It was Tyler Soderstrom. It was really Jesus Sanchez, batting .311. Poisson and Torkelson round out the guys batting over 300. Luis Pons, man, batting .293, 12 home runs and 200 at-bats. This guy definitely glad to have given him a run out there, you know, as our DH. He's definitely going to earn himself a contract. He's arbitration eligible, only made $700,000. Give him a 2-year deal. We'll see. But I'm glad we have him. 8.72 ERA. 8.72 ERA would be awful, but 8.72 OPS is great. Freddie Thompson batting well, and we know that's not exactly Freddie Thompson's strength, but man, is he turning out to be one hell of a player, and we still have him for $1.2 million next season. That kind of stuff helps. Bobby Witt Jr. justifying his $33.5 million. Didn't get the Silver Slugger, but a great season from him. Bo Bichette, Verdugo, Bush, and then Rutschman. Like, everybody on the team batted .280 or better besides Rutschman and Carroll. Mac Denton didn't have an at-bat, which is fine. As far as OPS, .958 for Torkelson, .930 for Sanchez, .921 for Poisson. So in his limited at-bats, his 36 at-bats, he did well, which is what you want to see. As far as home runs, I know I skipped over it. We had 3 players above 30, 1 player above 40, obviously with Torkelson, Witt with 32, Bichette with 31, Jesus Sanchez and Verdugo on the cusp, Adley Rutschman as well, and Michael Busch. So we definitely have turned into a team that likes to hit the long ball more. I know when we started, we were more of an average on base, small ball kind of team. We're hitting the long ball now for sure. Pons hit 12 in his limited attempts, and then everybody else getting a few. Mac Denton obviously didn't take an at-bat, but anybody that had an at-bat had a home run, which is cool to see. Good to see some good on-base percentages. We checked out the OPS already. Our worst OPS was from Rutschman, our catcher, but he's just all around so good that I'm not really too upset about that. Who led the team in strikeouts? It was Bobby Witt. It was probably, if we take a look here, it was probably, where did we go? To the Red Sox? I think it was the Red Sox for Sean Reed Foley, was it? Sorted by strikeouts? No, it wasn't them. Who did we trade to get Sean Reed Foley? I want to say it was a red team. Was it the Cubs? It was not the Cubs. Anyway, I've forgotten at this point who we got Stanton from, or who we sent Stanton to. So let's go ahead and go here. Not the Angels, Athletics. There we go. And now looking at stolen base percentage. Who did well? Who got caught stealing the most? Spencer Torkelson. Not really expecting him to steal much. Bo Bichette surprising a bit there. WAR though, 6. Oh my God. Just so many good players. Bush led the team in WAR. Torkelson with 6.4. Witt with 6.3. Thompson with 5.6, Rutschman with 5.6, Bichette with 5.5, Sanchez with 5.3, and Verdugo with 4.9. Our entire starting rotation, our starting lineup is amazing. Whew. And at-bats per home run, only 14 at-bats per home run for Torkelson, 17/18 for Sanchez and Pons. That is what you want to see. Anyway, taking a look at the pitchers, let's see, who is our best ERA guy? Cody Whitley, actually. Worst was Palouse, but we sent him down. Sean Reed Foley, I think that was about what he had, right? He had like a 5.51 ERA. His FIP, I think, moved up a bit, but still, I think he probably pitched pretty well. The best whip was Cody Whitley, Weathers, Delgado, Zach Gallen. Actually, Zach Gallen had a better season than I think I gave him credit for. Gunnar Hoglund, after missing that month, was just phenomenal to see him step into that number 2 role. He's now an 88 overall. The most quality starts was Scooble with 22. So after a rough start, right? A rough start to the season, he started 33 games with 22 out. 67% quality start percentage, 60% for Grayson Rodriguez here. Zach Gallen, Gunnar Hoglund with above 50%. Connie Nelson was the only rough one, and Jordan Wicks 50% when he was starting, I should say. Taking a look at WAR though, Scooble with 3.5, Hoglund with 3.0. You got to assume that if he plays the full season, he's right up there with Scooble. Zach Gallen, Rodriguez, Delgado, Wicks. Connie Nelson's the only guy that really didn't do the best. He's still, he's up to an 87. He's still growing immensely. His hits per 9 is up by 5 alone this season. He doesn't allow home runs, right? So he's still got that 99 potential. His potential's not changed. He's getting there. He's only 24, guys. He's going to be insane. John Reed Foley with some great Ks per 9. Same thing with Karinchak. How did Karinchak end up, by the way? 3 blown saves this season, but he did have 49 saves. So he almost hit 50 saves. That would have been something special. The best FIP this season was Colin Palouse, who I replaced. But, he only pitched 8 innings. So Karinchak then, Gunnar Hoglund had the best FIP, Whitley, Reed Foley. This is the number that I'm really looking for. I hope that our defense does step it up, but man, what a season for us as a whole, right? Let's take a look at where our team ranked, team rankings. Best in batting average, most at-bats, most runs scored, most hits. Did not hit doubles, 21st in doubles. Where were we in triples? 23rd. But we hit 35 more home runs than next most in the league. So yeah, I've kind of changed that. We're going for power. We are going for power. Most RBIs, not a stolen base kind of team, but we did rank in the top 10. We were caught stealing in the 14th fewest. That's fine. Percentage, no. Most walks too. So we're still sticking to our Oakland A's principles with the walks, baby. We just happen to hit home runs at the same time at a league leading rate by 35 more. That's still insane to me. Strikeouts, we don't strike out very often either. So 6th fewest strikeouts. That's what you want to see. Slugging percentage was the best in the majors. On base percentage was the best in the majors. Total bases, plate appearances, ground into double play. We did that quite a bit, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're getting on base a ton. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Assists, putouts, errors. How many errors? Fielding percentage. How did we do fielding percentage wise? All right, 7th. So I wanted to check the bottom first. But how do we do as far as pitching? Well, we stayed at 9th ever since I checked it last. 0.01 from being 7th, really close to 6th, right? You're splitting hairs to get to 5th at this point. So really, I got to say we pitched pretty good. 3 complete games this season. 12 shutouts, which is fantastic. Saves, we were up there with 58 saves. 49 came from Karinchak, but you guys can see he was so close to leading the league in saves. So that would have been awesome. But those couple blown saves he had were not great. Blown saves though, where were we? Okay, I'm glad to see us not at the bottom, but about top 10-ish in blown saves, hits allowed, runs allowed, earned runs, home runs allowed. How many home runs did we allow? We ranked 18th. We did allow quite a few home runs this season. Did we walk team players a lot? Because that's a deadly combo. Not really. Top 10, which is really good. Strikeout wise, we were 5th. That's with Grayson Rodriguez with 216. That's probably the best we've seen in a long time, and the best winning percentage, as we are the best team in baseball. And there is the stat recap. I'm loving it, guys. We're taking on either the Angels or Minnesota. The Angels, obviously, we know were 12 games behind us. They were great at one point. They did kind of fall off a bit. Their ERA did kind of even itself out. They bomb, so that maybe is scary for us. And then the Twins, yeah, they're pretty solid, an okay team, better pitching than they are hitting, for sure. And their bats aren't too deadly, but they oh my God, guys. First in contact, first in power, first in pitching, first in defense, first in speed. I've never seen that, but I've never been able to do that ever. I've always had a good team, but nothing like that. So hopefully it translates to our first playoff series win of this franchise mode. We're in year 8. Can we win the ALDS just once? We have a high job security and an A GM rating. So I'm glad they did bring us back. We're in year 1 of 3 of this contract, but our yearly goal is to reach the postseason. And our contracted goal is to make it to the World Series, win the league pennant. You guys can see we've won 95 games twice now, 2 seasons ago. And then last season, we only won 92. This season, we won 105 games, which is absolutely insane. Took us a long time to get here, but I'm pretty happy with where we've gone with the Oakland Athletics, guys. I hope you are too. If you guys have any comments or, think I did something wrong or if I need to do something better, I think I did pretty good. If you guys are excited for the ALDS, let me know who you would rather face, the Twins or the Angels, down in the comment section. But that's all the time I have for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.
This a free for all, before we fall. This a free for all,